Hi, I'm Scott Crabill, partner at Thoma Bravo, and this is Beyond the Deal, a special bonus episode of Thoma Bravo's Behind the Deal. And I'm here with the president and CEO of J.D. Power, Dave Habiger. Dave, this is an opportunity for me to ask you some questions about inspirations in business, life. But if listeners want to hear more about how our partnership came together, have a listen to our full episode of Behind the Deal. And in case people are joining without having heard that episode, Dave, tell us a little bit about J.D. Power and the customers you serve.
Sure. We have two general lines of business. One, market research. So we call that voice of the customer. So we're doing research on an industry, auto, airlines, finance, banking, and then doing a subscription that we sell to those customers who want to understand their customer and how to build better products. Our majority part of our business is our data business. So that's auto and everything about auto, what a car is worth, how to value it. We sell to banks, insurance companies, and then VIN, description, everything on a car. So if you think of that as a thumbprint, we're identifying that vehicle and doing a full deep dive on all the bits and pieces about that. And then we have a subscription typically we sell to the auto industry.
So David, you were introduced to technology at a young age. When did you know you were destined for a career in technology?
I was probably in college. I had several jobs. One of them was media services, so a room like this, except old analog tape decks, et cetera. And started doing documentaries out of college and realized I liked the gear and the tech more than the storytelling. And I wasn't really good at the storytelling side, but I think that was where I kind of, early on figured out that's probably a fun place to, work and do business.
Tell us more about the documentaries. Anything interesting? Anything that we...
No. It turns out that's really tough business to make a living in. If you watch a commencement speech from about 10 years ago, there's one of my failures was documentaries. And so I was dealing with, it was right during Dances with Wolves. So I was cold calling Kevin Costner to do the voiceover, and the person who wrote the Dances with Wolves book, I got his number from Kevin. I learned a lot, but yeah, it wasn't very profitable. Okay, so we have rapid fire, and if you're not in PE, you can't do, not only Thoma Bravo, they say you're banned from the private equity, doesn't exist. What career would you be in? What would you be doing now?
When I was younger, I thought I was going to be a doctor. I liked science, math, and I liked the idea of kind of seeing patients and helping people and socializing in that way. When I got to college, I gravitated a little bit more towards engineering and then finance for my first job. And I was in San Francisco, so I kind of caught the technology bug. So now I think if I couldn't do private equity, I think I'd want your job to be CEO, entrepreneur of a technology business, software business, data business.
I go to chairman, you do CEO. Let's that works.
Let's do that.
I could use a break for a little
probably
bit.
Fall flat on my face, but I would like the idea of running a technology company and trying to, build a big business, a market-leading business in a space, and be a leader of people, and do all the things that you do at J.D. Power.
Well, yeah, it's a fun job generally.
Dave, what's something you wish you had known at the start of your career?
You've got to figure out how to scale if you're building a business, and you can't know everything. Like I'm probably the worst example of it, because I think I'd be a C player or whatever. I'd be a C, CFO, a C salesperson, a C. Like I have not done. I mean, literally all I've really, this is most of what I've done, and this job's kind of a sales / people job. But I wish earlier on I would have realized you can't, there's just no way any human being can know what's going on everywhere at every part of the business, and that's not a good way to lead people or manage. It took me about 10 years, but I got there about 20 years ago.
That's good.
Still getting there.
That's good.
Oh, that was a tough one. Okay, well, same question to you.
I think there are a bunch of things, I'm sure, but I think the one thing is I wish I had been better at stress management earlier in my career. I think I've learned that a little bit later, that you can be a type A personality and very driven and intense, and at the same time, manage your level of stress, whether it be through
I've never
exercise,
seen you as being
sleeping,
stressed.
healthy eating. I'm like a duck, very calm on the surface and paddling aggressively underneath the surface. So that's, if I could tell my younger self that, I'd tell him to come up with some stress coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Don't
sooner.
sweat the small stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we could all relate to that one.
Yeah. Dave, one fun question. Do you have any favorite movies?
Home movies of the kids.
That's a good.
Yeah, it is a good one. Yeah, because who knows, like your favorite book, like, your favorite TV show. These things change.
Absolutely.
You get that kind of question, you got to have that. That one I'm ready for. I've had that one before, and I go straight to. And it's probably true.
Yeah.
Like I have
home movies with the old camera.
No, we didn't have. I'm not that old. We didn't. I wasn't cranking the camera. There was tape involved. There wasn't an iPhone. There was my kids are in their 20s, so there's a lot of tape.
Awesome. Well, Dave, thanks for coming on Behind the Deal and Beyond the Deal. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good to
Thanks
have
for
you.
being good partners, and I enjoyed the session.
Perfect. Thank you.